Decent day, everyone. Today we will be discussing the school-based programs that are designed to help children with hearing impairments. So the first one is the oral or aural approaches. In this technique, the child is trained to use his residual hearing and talk with hearing peers through the help of amplification such as hearing aid, auditory training, and speech reading. Program known as the oral or aural approach focuses on maximizing a child's remaining hearing. Okay, so residual hearing means any hearing ability a child still have, even if it's limited. So the goal of this is to teach them to use this residual hearing to understand speech through auditory training, which involves structure exercises to improve the child's ability to recognize and distinguish different sounds. Or think of it like ear exercise to strengthen their hearing skills. And the next one is reading or lip reading. So this is using visual cues from the speaker's mouth movements to help understand what's being said. Also, interaction with hearing peers, or when we say hearing peers, it is someone that is have the ability to hear. Okay, so it is important to interact with hearing peers as it emphasizes the interaction with typically hearing peers to help them develop communication skills in a natural environment. Okay. Second one is the auditory program. So the emphasis of this training is to help the child practice and strengthen the residual hearing. So the training includes detecting the sounds, discriminating the sounds, identifying the sounds, and understanding the meaning of the sound. So while this is quite similar to the oral or aural approaches, in its focus on residual hearing. This one is emphasizes a more systematic approach to auditory skill development. So the core of this program is strengthening the child's ability to process sounds. So this involves detecting sounds. The child learns to identify the presence of any sound. And the other one is discriminating sounds, the ability to differentiate between various sounds, like the difference between ba and pa, something like that. And identifying sounds, the child learns to associate with sounds with their meanings. For example, recognizing a sound of a car, like, or a sound of an animal, like that. And other one is understanding the meaning of the sound. So this is the highest level where the child connects sounds to words and sentences, and comprehend spoken language. Okay. So the other one is the cued speech. So cued speech is a visual mode of communication in which mouth movements of speech combine with cues to make sound of a traditional spoken languages look different. So cued speech is a unique system that combines hand cues with mouth movements. So these cues are not signs in themselves, but rather visual signals that help distinguish sounds that looks similar on the lips, like p, b, and m. So, as you know, people with hearing impairments, they find it difficult to distinguish the sound that is quite similar, like p, b, m. So, with the help of cues, it clarifies the sounds and it make it easier to understand speech, especially for those with limited residual hearing. So it is a visually based system designed to supplement lip reading and improve comprehension. Third one is the total communication, also called simultaneous communication or SIMCOM, because it supports the use of different forms of communication in teaching the students. So in this technique, the teacher and students are allowed to speak while they sign during the class. So the SIMCOM is a philosophy rather than a single method. So it emphasizes the use of all available communication methods to maximize understanding. So this often involves combining spoken language, sign language, typically signed English, or another system, or writing gestures and visual aids. So the goal is to provide a various communication approach that is tailored to each student's needs. So in a classroom setting, this would mean the teacher might speak while simultaneously signing or using sign language, using various communication modes in order to ensure that the students understand the information effectively. So this is a very flexible approach that adapts to different learning styles and hearing levels of any students. So the last one is the American Sign Language. So according to Hayward 2009, ASL is a visual spatial language. So this means that unlike spoken or written English, ASL uses the shape, location, and movement of the hands to create meaning. So it has its own grammatical rules, including phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics, different from English. So the image shows the ASL alphabet. So each letter is represented by a unique hand shape. So learning this hand shape is the first step in learning to signed language. So let us now proceed to the manually coded English or MCE. So it is a communication system designed specifically to support students with hearing loss in learning English. So it is important to understand that MCE is not a sign language. Instead, it is a system of hand movements that directly represents the words and grammatical structure of spoken English. So it is adherence to correct English usage and word orders. This adherence to correct English usage and word order. So this is a key feature of MCE. Unlike sign language, which has its own grammatical structure, MCE aims to visually replicate the precise order and grammatical spoken English. So each word and grammatical element is represented by a specific hand movement, maintaining the same sentence structure as spoken English. Another thing is it is a development of reading, writing, and language skills. So the primary goal of MCE is to build strong reading, writing, and overall language skills in English for students with hearing impairment. So by visually representing the language structure, MCE helps students understand how English sentence are formed. So the visually representation can be particularly beneficial for students who may struggle to process spoken language due to their hearing impairment. So let us now move on to the bilingual bicultural approach. So this approach acknowledges and values the student's native language or language one while teaching English as a second language. So it also incorporates the student's cultural background. So the goal of this is to foster language development in both native language and English, and it empowers students to function effectively in both their home culture and the wider hearing community. So, this method recognizes that maintaining the student's native language is important for overall cognitive development and their cultural identity.